Hey, good evening. It's 2 a.m. with Jason. Hope you're doing well. Um, this past week we talked about Micah chapter 6, verse 8. It says, He has shown you, O mortal, uh, what is good and what the Lord requires from you, to act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with God. And last night we talked about acting justly and how tricky that can be. And Isaiah 58 was the challenge. And tonight is loving mercy. And mercy is a hard thing because, uh, by definition, as I said in the sermon, mercy is not what we deserve. Like it's something we don't deserve. It's something that is good, that is given, that we don't deserve, and it costs someone something. I see it as an investment, is what I said on Sunday, and the illustration I want to point out is this in Ann Arbor, Michigan, 1996. There was a little, I guess, precursor to the craziness that is today, and the KKK was marching, and there were people that were there protesting the KKK marching, and there's a gentleman. He had SS tattoos on his neck. He had Confederate flags, and he found himself on the other side of where the rest of the group was, and there's images of him because people were like, "This is not good." He realized pretty quickly that he should not have been on here, and he starts running from the African American mob that is formed. That it was angry with the group, but the police were standing between them, and now there's no one between him. So he's running, and there's again images. If you search Ann Arbor, Michigan, 1996, KKK, you'll see this guy there, and he's running, and he proceeds. They catch him, and they start beating him, and it was at that point that a young woman, 18 years old, steps in and says, "I don't want this to happen." And here is the image. I'm just going to show you here of what happened. And she throws her body on top of him to prevent him from being beaten. And as she does, I mean, you can see some people that have rods and things to hit him with, and as she does, as she sacrifices herself, um, the crowd sees this and says, "Whoa, we should stop this." And it's interesting because, as it says, her name was Keisha Thomas, and and as she did this, they stopped, and they formed the kind of part of the seas, and they allowed this gentleman to leave, um, and uh, not judging, but with the tattoos and with the stuff that he brought to this thing, that the lack of respect that he had for her, and yet here she is stepping in to save his life, in a sense. They never met again. They never talked again. But she did say it was about a year later. Um, Someone else came and and tracked her down and said, "Hey, I want to say thank you." And she's like, "Who are you? What's going on?" And this guy said, "Hey, that was my dad that you saved, and he's a lot of other things that are not good, um, but you saved him, and you didn't have to, and for that I'm tremendously grateful." I think it's important for us when we've been shown mercy, to be able to say thank you, and to know that every good and perfect gift comes from God, um, and yet, in light of the mercy that He has shown us, what should our response be? How can we continue to pour out that mercy to other people? Um, we can't keep it all for ourselves. God has done too much for us, to hold on to that hatred and that bitterness, and um, it has no place in the Christian's life. We have to show mercy. And it's especially hard for those people that we know don't deserve it, or know would not be showing it back to us if given the chance. And yet that's hopefully what makes us Christians different, is that we're willing to, they'll know we are Christians by our love and by our mercy as well. So just a thought. Take care.